All right, so let's talk a little bit about annual reports. How do you prepare? How do you write an annual report? Again, what is an annual report? Like we said in the previous video, it's a concise based document that outlines your recent accomplishments. It will include things like your goals met, notable achievements, accomplishments, training you received, and changes or growth. Usually you do this on a yearly basis or potentially twice a year. You want to remember, this should be concrete. It should be data-driven. Do you have numbers to support this? It should be concise. Again, you're looking at what can you fit on one page or at most 2 pages. It should be simple and easy to read. It should be scannable, so it should be done in business report format with lots of headings and possibly bullet points and font changes to highlight your main accomplishments, and you should proofread it. Again, if you have errors in your annual report and you're using this specifically to get a promotion, it's not going to look good because it's going to look like you're not a promotable person. There are some annual report examples, and I've put them up on D2L so you can kind of see what I'm talking about with an annual report here. Again, we're looking at a basic business report. And you're actually going to get a chance to practice writing an annual report in this class, so you can talk about what you've accomplished this semester to kind of help you think through your goals. Probably right now you're thinking, I don't think most people write annual reports. I don't think most people write annual reports. That's true. But I'd also like to point out, most people don't get promoted at their performance review. Only the few, only the best get promoted at their performance reviews. And annual reports are something that you can do to help your boss recognize what you've accomplished, to help them think back over your past information that you've received as well, and to make you someone that stands out as someone that should get promoted and move to the next level. So I think annual reports are a really good way that you could potentially reach out to your boss with your accomplishments, that you can better understand your accomplishments, and you set yourself up to be the person that's chosen for a promotion. So a few benefits of annual reports: it shows self-awareness. It shows that you're aware of what you've contributed to the company and that you are aware of what you've accomplished. It also demonstrates professionalism. If you write your annual report and you write it in a professional business report style format, it shows that you have professional awareness. It helps your boss identify your accomplishments so they can see what you've done, and it helps you clearly articulate your added worth. It can also help you build your own confidence, or if you leave the company later on, to show other people what you've accomplished at that company, or to help you figure out how to write your resume for what you've accomplished there. So you can even take this kind of annual report to a future interview to show what you've accomplished if you're leaving the company and want to go somewhere else. So you've written this annual report, you've looked at annual reports, you've written one up about what you've accomplished recently at your company. What should you do with your annual report, especially if your boss didn't request one for you? My recommendation is that you ideally email this to your boss while they are preparing for your annual review. At the very least, you should bring a copy to your review, but a lot of times people have already determined the review before they come in, and the annual review is them just reporting on what they already know about you. So it would be better if you actually sent them the annual report in advance. Hey, I know performance review is coming up. I have this document where I've been keeping track of what I've accomplished here, and I thought it might be useful for you to help you remember the projects I've worked on this semester or this year. That looks really good. It looks really professional, and you're making your boss's job easier for when they're writing your performance review, which means your performance review is more likely to be higher. So again, why should you write this annual report? This seems to be extra work that you don't necessarily need to do. It allows you to set the stage for what's going to be discussed at your performance review. If you send them in this annual report in advance, you have told them what you think should be accomplished, so you have told them what you think you should talk about at your performance review, rather than trusting your boss's memory to talk about what you think should be accomplished and talked about at your performance review. It also lets you show that you're taking an initiative and that you're making accomplishments and merits that you're aware of. It sets up an agreed upon data that can be referenced when discussing raises or promotions later on at your performance review, because you have data that shows what you've accomplished or what you've contributed. And it makes you stand out amongst your peers, because probably most of your peers are not writing these annual reports. So this is going to allow you to more clearly and articulately discuss your performance review, what you've accomplished and what you've contributed to the company. Again, if you don't do this, at a minimum, create a brief self-performance review awareness so you know what you've done when you go into your performance review. For this class, you actually have to write an annual report, which gives you a chance to practice report writing skills and also think about what this would look like. This has a deadline, and you can see it on D2L, and you're going to see this as a combined 2-week project. And you can find some examples online in the rubric as well. Again, this is going to be a 1 to 2 page business document highlighting your achievements as a student over the past semester. And it can include material and projects from all of your classes, or also things outside of your classes as well, professional events you attended, any club membership you were involved in, or things that you've accomplished in this class. Again, we're practicing business report format rather than the academic paper format when you're writing your annual report for this class. All right, in the next video, we'll talk a little bit about what if you get a poor performance review.